Let's chat Miami Dolphins now on Chat Sports. How about looking at a wide receiver, specifically one of the two Bama wide receivers? Now, we'll break this all down here for you guys. First up, DeVonta Smith here. Now, he won the Heisman Trophy this past year, highly productive. He's also very, very skinny. Much like his teammate Jaylen Waddle, there is some built-in chemistry as well with Tua. And if you want to maximize Tua and help him hit the ground running in year 2, getting an old teammate, I think, actually does make some sense for the Miami Dolphins. Of course, there's also Jaylen Waddle, who was a dynamic, explosive playmaker at Alabama. And oh, by the way, he outproduced Smith before he got hurt. He is one of the fastest players, not the fastest, that's Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn, but one of the fastest ones in this year's draft. The reason we bring this up was Cameron Wolfe, the ESPN beat writer for the Miami Dolphins, throughout his kind of sort of mock draft, 6 picks in total, what he's guessing things are right now. He's got Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, Justin Fields 3. Kyle Pitts then goes 4, Jamar Chase goes 5, and then he kind of took the cop-out answer for his own team. Jaylen Waddle or DeVonta Smith at number 6. And in the event that Pitts goes 4 and Chase goes 5, I'm mostly inclined to agree with Cameron Wolfe on this one. Now, which one would you rather have? There isn't a wrong answer. Both of these guys are fantastic. They are incredible players. They're dynamic. They fit with Tua. They'd be a great addition to the Miami Dolphins organization. But pick one for me. Type DS for DeVonta Smith or type in JW for Jaylen Waddle. Now back to DeVonta Smith here, more in depth on his side of things. Past 2 seasons have been mighty impressive, and especially that 2020 campaign. Now, yes, his average did dip down. Part of that was the way he was used. He was very much the lead target for Alabama and had a decent amount of quick passes just to get him open on RPOs and stuff like that. But he was dominant. There's no way around that. You cannot look at these numbers and go, oh, yeah, he's not good. You can be concerned about the size. That is absolutely valid. The list of 170-pound players who have had success at wide receiver in the NFL, especially non-4.340 guys, it's not that long. Maybe you want to comp him to Marvin Harrison. I kind of like a Chad Johnson, the Bengals receiver comparison there. It is worth mentioning the size. I don't think it's fair to say, oh yeah, he's going to be bad just because he's undersized or whatever. He has a first-round grade from me. He is a fantastic wide receiver prospect. And this might be a bit of a hot take, even though I'm worried about the injury. I've actually got Jaylen Waddle, his teammate, barely ahead of DeVonta Smith. All 3 of them are top 10 guys for me in this year's class, so not a slight whatsoever against Smith. But I do want to mention this. In the games before he got hurt with that broken ankle and tried to come back late in the year for the championship game and just was not right, period, Jaylen Waddle was outproducing DeVonta Smith. When Jaylen Waddle got hurt, Bama was like, okay, all the targets for Jaylen Waddle, here you go, Smith. That's how that offense ended up working. And that's fine. But if you want a more dynamic home run, game-breaking threat, that is Jaylen Waddle for me. I love the upside of what he brings. Am I worried he could bust because of the injury? Sure, I think that's very fair. Am I concerned about the way Henry Ruggs played in year 1? No, not really. I've always liked Jaylen Waddle. If I were the Dolphins and Pitts and Chase are gone, I would have no problem taking one of the Bama playmakers to make life as easy as possible on your franchise quarterback in Tua. Let's look on the offensive line today for the Miami Dolphins. Now, we're focused in on Penei Sewell as a possible option for Miami at number 6 overall. Now, the report from Ian Rappaport was that Sewell has been cross-training at right tackle, which I think makes sense. It's a good thing to do in the pre-draft process, help appeal to teams that might have a left tackle. And the one that jumps out to me immediately is the Miami Dolphins because, well, A, right tackle is the blind side for Tua, and B, they'd spent a first-round pick on Austin Jackson, a left tackle, in last year's draft. So before we dive more in depth here on Penei Sewell, who do you want the Dolphins to take at number 6 overall? Is it Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, one of the Bama guys, a Kyle Pitts if he's there by some chance? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Now, Sewell did not play in the 2020 season. He opted out because he was dominant as a teenager at Oregon. 2018, 2019, he was the best offensive lineman in football. Allowed 0 sacks, 2 hits, 5 hurries. He is an absolute mauler in the run game as well. There are some hilarious moments, even in that first game of 2019 against Auburn, where he's out there getting downfield, and he is just mauling guys. Like, just looking well beyond his actual age and beating up on linebackers and DBs and all of that. So for Penei Sewell, I'm a big fan. He is my number 2 player, even over Kyle Pitts in this year's draft. Now, there is the question of how he fits with the Miami Dolphins. If they want to keep Austin Jackson at left tackle, and they don't want to make Sewell a guard, which, again, I'm fine with doing that path, although there is some buzz around Sewell being a guard potentially in the NFL, I'm looking at on the right side of the line, and I see Robert Hunt, who I actually think, and you might disagree with me, but it's what I believe, Hunt might be an ideal fit at right guard. You put Robert Hunt at right guard, Solomon Kinley can be your swing guard, or even could be with Eric Flowers down the road at left guard potentially, and then Hunt is at right guard, and Penei Sewell lines up at right tackle. That's a first-round pick at left tackle, a second-round pick at right guard, and a first-round pick at left tackle. Or right tackle, excuse me. And if you want to build the trenches and protect your franchise guy, I think that's a good route to go if you are the Miami Dolphins. Now, while we're on the discussion here of Penei Sewell, I do want to bring this up because Albert Breer has done this twice now. And twice now he has mentioned, quote-unquote, maturity concerns around Penei Sewell without ever actually providing details as to what those are. And I don't like doing that. If you're going to mention there are maturity concerns around a player, especially when you're a national reporter, you have got to provide some details. You cannot just be like, oh, maturity concerns, and be super vague as Breer has done twice now. That's not fair to the player. You know, if you want to mention the lawsuit, the hazing allegations against players like Micah Parsons, that is specific enough for me. If you even wanted to table it as just general maturity concerns, do that. Don't be vague. Because my mind, when I hear character maturity stuff, is not, he's literally not 21 years old yet. Like, I think what we're actually discussing. I think these maturity concerns that have been popped up by Breer is that he's literally young. Penei Sewell does not turn 21 years old until October. He is profoundly young for an early round pick. So if that's what the maturity concerns are, say it. You can't just be vague and say, oh yeah, source of there's lots to unpack there. What's the stuff to unpack? Be specific, because we're not doing the players a service here, and we're making it confusing for draft fans as well. I don't like that whatsoever. So I'm a big Penei Sewell fan. If we ever get concrete details on it, I can change my mind. But if it's just vague, oh, he's young stuff, that's not a concern. He should be a top 5 pick in this year's draft.